Hello guys and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 11 Division 1 Round 2 here at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. So we have Nick jumping here on the Red Bull KTM factory racing bike. And unfortunately this is not live due to problems that have gone on, but anyway, so VTR, he is your championship leader by by 1.5 points, with the first ever time half points being handed out in the championship's history after the chaos that happened in Phillip Island. And he said he's not feeling too confident around here. Not got the feeling for the place. So the advantage he had in Phillip Island seems to not translate here at COTA, and that means the likes of Craig and those who would have benefited from all those half points can strike back for this round. So I think Nick jumping will still be the first person out on track. Yep. Nick jumping just lagging a bit there, and it's definitely not me this time. It's definitely Nick himself, the German. So Nick now starting the opening lap of the session with Reps right behind him. I don't know the pace difference between these two, but if Reps is faster, that's definitely not great positioning for this lap as they go into turn 1. And Nick jumping goes down immediately, so that does not matter for Reps whatsoever. As we'll go to Reps now on board the Repsol Honda, number 47. Portuguese with that Portuguese number 4. Let's now go from left to right, back to left, and then back to right again. This long right-hander, and then we will eventually end it, and then go back to the left-hand side of the tyre as we reach the second sector. Now we go up the hill, another right-hander, and then we got 3 consecutive left-handers through turns 9. Then you finally start to drop back down to turn 10, heading towards the hairpin of turn 11, and then hard on the brakes as the track flattens out ever so slightly. Hit the apex there, and then gas it all the way down the back straight over 330 kilometers an hour, maybe even 340 or 50, depending on how late you want to brake, and you run out onto the straight. Hard on the brakes into the 90-degree left, into the sequence of really slow 60-mile-an-hour bends, or 60 kilometer an hour bends really. Through turn 15, nicely done. This is a very clean lap by Reps here. Definitely a decent banker time going to be set by the Repsol Honda riders. You see the Texan flag in the background, flying high, as well as the US flag at turn 1. As Reps now into the final corner. VTR just behind him there in the background. He hasn't validated his opening lap, so not what the championship leader would have wanted. Reps up to the line, it's a 58.4. That looks like it could be on for pole position as of now. Nick jumping goes second. I've no idea who's next. Might be Hulicar. Is actually Darko as Hulicar goes into the pits in a very strange manner as Jack Berman, I think, is the next person to cross the line. And he goes into second place. And everybody seems to cross the line now who could have done. Craig and Rolge a solid 10-12 seconds off the pace. That's also them backing off in some form. And Nick jumping, improving on his lap after crashing out at turn 1. And VTR sets a red sector 1, so we'll go to the current championship leader. as he brakes hard for turn 11. So the Honda did win here in real life. It was thanks to Paco crashing out, but still Rins on board the Honda was able to win around here. So the Honda definitely has a history of winning here. The Prix, on the other hand, is not very well favoured. And BTS lost time in that third sector, so Rep's doing a very solid job in his debut here in VollGazz. Sire is unfortunately had to step away from the league due to work, and Nelson is not here today because of work. So big chance for those who missed out on the podiums, fighting for the podium last weekend, to close in at the top 3. She took across the line and actually invalidated his lap for a second time, as Chamois, who's another debutant on the Repsol Honda, goes into 5th place. And we got Howling Siege on board the Cressidi Racing Ducati. Ooh, excuse me, number 26. Usually rides a Honda, but this season is on a Ducati. Still trying to figure out the puzzle that is MotoGP 23, given how different it is from 22, and he has gone quite a substantial amount of time between playing the 2 games. I think the other Mooney VR46 guy is going to start their laps. Yes, they are. Oh, that is not very well timed. Amir not anticipating Hooley to back off there to get the best one out the final corner, and that's really compromised Amir's run onto this lap into turn 1. I know Amir can be quite decent, and I haven't seen him for a couple of years, so I'm not 100% sure. But remember in MotoGP 19 he was quite solid. And he's got to invalidate his lap time, so we'll go back to his teammate of Hooley, wherever he is on this thing. Quick change of direction. Down the hill, heading towards turn number 11. Probably one of the slowest corners on the circuit. Easy to go down. This race is going to be determined by crashes and track limits, I can guarantee that. Hard on the brakes into turn 12, and now we go into the first gear section of turns 13, 14 and 15. Just really, really slow. All hairpin bends, and then coming to the end of that section now and into the triple rights, the Istanbul section. 16, 17, 18 ending off at Hayden Hill. And I feel they can just keep it together. He'll jump at least to 6th place at worst, I'd imagine. Into the final corner. And he goes into 2nd place. Good stuff from the Colombian. So Colombia have got a new star in David Alonso in Moto3 this season, and could definitely be one of the favourites for next year's championship. So Colombia, the popularity of GP in that country is definitely going to have grown in the past year. VTL struggling with wheelies, as we've seen the Aprilis do all of this game, as he is on his first valid lap of the session. It's very rare you say that about VTL, and he makes a mistake through turn 4. Vito just says he really, he's just saying he really can't get the understanding for this track or the feeling. And Craiganator, this is really a chance for him to stamp his authority on the championship, taking second place. As I said before, 1.5 points off first. Oh, and he's gone down. 2 red sectors and he's gone down. But Craig, I can't remember off the top of my head how many races he's won. I want to say he's won. I'm pretty certain he's won at least one race. He's always finished on the podium consistently. SVTR has found time in the second sector, but last time he did lose time in the third sector. Oh, excuse me. And he definitely has blown the turn 12 left-hander there. So definitely not the cleanest of laps for VTR, but he's got to keep going. He's if he sets a decent lap, he'll probably end up on the front row. See if anybody's all on laps apart from VTR. So VTR will now be approaching the final corner now, still wheeling his way down the straights, out the corners, really rushing the final corner, really messing that up. Up to the line he goes, and he goes pole. VTR out of nowhere takes pole position. Nick jumping personal best sector 1, gonna happen because he crashed on his only lap time as he rides on the front fairing as he breaks down towards turn 11. Really impressive stuff how he's able to ride on the front wheel despite the fact that all the drive goes to the rear wheel. Down the back straight, personal best second sector. If he can keep it on all 2 wheels, he's sure to improve his lap time. But where he'll go, I don't actually know where he'll go. I think he'll go in front of his teammate, but I'm not too sure. Through turn 16 and now 17, and then taking the late apex for turn 18, as he now has the 2 final left-handers to contend with, pushing the RC16 as hard as he can and into the final corner. It always seems like they're rushing the corners here, but I think that's just the way the camera's angled. As he comes up to the line, running the outside curve, he crosses the line, and he has in fact invalidated his lap time. As Shermoy's is coming to the end of a lap of running the Davide Galignaz. I think that's Davide's helmet. Into the final corner, up to the line, and he remains in 7th place. VTR currently holding on to that first place just about, but everyone is now getting ready to start their final laps of the session. My mouth is not working at all today. As Craig now starts lapping Howling right behind him, getting a good marker, braking towards turn 1, nicely stopped to change direction now for turn number 2. And now he gets set for the quick changes of direction. This is Craig's last lap. He's 10.1 seconds off pole position, and he's gonna set a red sector 1. If he can just keep this lap tidy, he'll definitely go to the front row. There's no doubt about that. As Roll sets also the home rider sets a red sector 1 as well. So VTR, his first sector wasn't the strongest. Neither was his third, but his second and fourth, they were the ones that stood out. Let's see what happens when Craig reaches the end point of sector 2. Jack, red sector 1, Darko, red sector 1, Rhett's personal best sector 2. VTR's in the pits, his lap's over. He'll be staring now at the live timing to see what will happen. As Craig hard on the brakes into turn 12, back and in. Don't lose the front this time. Nicely done, hard on the gas now as we approach the 2 right-handers of 13 and 14. He's got to just be patient, Full gas as you change direction again for turn 15. It all tightens up and Howling, unfortunately, has invalidated his lap time and will be starting in last place. Dark and Berman have lost their laps. Well, not lost the laps, but they've lost the time. As Reps now is coming up to the final corner. He's red in the finals in the third sector. Can he keep it going for the final sector? Can he take pole position for the first time in his debut? Up to the line, and he misses out. So it's all on Craig now to steal it from VTR, his former teammate. Up to the line, Craig goes, and it's pole position by 0.3 of a second. And here comes Darko. Final corner. Cross the line. And we wait and see where Darko ended up. If you have to wait for the race director, who is Ropey, to press ready.
As the last riders return to the pits, we take a look at the final results of this qualifying.
So it's Craig who takes pole out of VTR, Reps, Hulikar, Jack Berman, Darko, Tahifa, Shermoyes, Jumping, Rolge, Howling, and that is it. In Division 2, it was chaos at the start, 1 red flag and about 6 crashes in the second restart, but we're only allowing 1 red flag after the chaos of last week, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully there's no chaos into turn 1 because it caused quite a lot of problems. And everybody's ready, look, so we'll get ready to go now.
The race officials give the okay. Riders have their eyes fixed firmly on the light. Just a few more seconds and the Grand Prix of the Americas is go.
So here we go. Lights are on. And we are off. And VTR's got spin off the start. That's not what the championship leader would have wanted. As Craig gets a really clean start off the line, heading towards turn 1 now. Oh, and Craig has completely fluffed it, and Nick Jumping's gone down. And oh my God, there's been 3 crashes, 4 I don't know. There's been 5 crashes, 4 crashes. I think that's a red flag. There's Jack Boomer goes straight on. Yeah, it's red flag. So wait for everybody's ready up so we can get going.
The race officials
So we go,
give the
second
okay.
time
Riders
it's the
have their
charm.
eyes fixed firmly on the light. Just a few more seconds and the Grand Prix of the Americas is go.
And they're off. And Jack Bowen once again getting a great start. Headed, it's Reps who takes the best start as they go into turn 1 for the first time. And oh, and who's that has gone down? That is Mia Tahifu's gone down. Craig barging Reps out the way, but it's a lot closer as Schmoyes moves into second place ahead of his teammate and might actually take the lead here as Craig's messed up the exit, and Schmoyes has taken the lead of the race as we head through the end of the first sector now, and it's going to be Reps who takes the lead from Craig, but Craig's got the inside line now for turn 7, and Schmoyes has got the inside line of his teammate. He hits the back of Craig. It's all chaos as VTL looks to try and get past the Repsol Hondas, but it is Craig who holds on to victory after the first sector as they head down towards turn 10. There's been a crash for, that is Hulikar, I think. Yeah, it's Hulikar. Is a, whoa, that's a... Oh, VTR's gone down as well. VTR was one of the crashes. As Craig now, it's a big chance for him to take the lead of the championship. Down the back straight they go, holding off the two Repsol Hondas as Nick Jumping's been able to pass Schmoyes through the turn 10 and 11, going down to the hard braking zone of turn 12. So Craig has got the job done. He's survived the melee of the first few opening sectors, but Reps has got pace. Reps is definitely the danger man for Craig this race, as Howling has just been passed by Jack Berman. And Reps is looking all over the back of the GP23 factory Ducati. He's going to go round the outside, he's going to turn it to the inside for turn 16, but Craig just about holds it off. But he's hit the curb, he's going to ride, but he's going to just go right into the path of the Repsol Honda. And Reps is just forced to hold himself off. And Craig, Reps has gone down. He's lost the front at turn 1, and that promotes Nick Jumping and Schmoyes into third and second, and also Howling. Oh, he just can't quite get inside the top 5. He's going to go up the inside of Reps, and he barges his way through up the inside. Reps is forced rounds to the ground. I don't even know where Reps. He's back on the track. But what a chaotic opening lap then. As all Reps hits the back of Howling, as Howling completely stuffed up the slalom. And the Dutchman just holds on to 5th place for now, but Reps is looking to get through, and he's got through on the Grassini Ducati rider. And Siege has gone down, unfortunately, as Jack Berman now moves into 3rd place. Passing Schmoyes down into turn 12. Nick Jumping is lagging, but he doesn't seem to be going back and forth. And Schmoyes goes up the inside of Jack Berman into turn 12. He's squeezed his way past the Brit, and the German's back into 3rd place. As we have a battle now for the top 5 with Reps, Darker, Hulikar and VTR. VTR down in 8th place. It's very rare we see him outside the podium places, let alone the top 5. So VTR's got some work to do. Craig's out in front by 2.5 seconds. He just needs to bring it home. He just needs to ride a nice, comfortable pace, and the championship lead will go to him as of now. And Reps putting in a shift here as Schmoyes and Jack Berman are beginning to close in on Nick Jumping for 2nd place. Through to one of Schmoyes is wide, and Jack Berman's got the inside line, but that turns to the outside, but he's got it done. And Jack is now set free in 3rd to attack Nick Jumping, who is lagging, I repeat, so hopefully it's not too bad, as everybody has got a track limits warning of some fashion, with Reps having 4, so Reps is 1 warning away from a long lap penalty. You must serve your long lap, otherwise you are given a 7-second time penalty, which adds up to 10 seconds collectively at the end of the race. Down the hill, I cannot remember for the life of me where Jack Berman finished in the last round. It wasn't the greatest of finishes for the former top 3 in the standings. All that was Darker running wide, and VTR has managed to take Darker and Hulikar and move into 6th place. And VTR with the fastest lap of the race, so if he hadn't gone down, he would have been in this fight for second place for sure. Maybe even for first, depending on how long it would have taken him for him to get into second place. But Jack probably just taking a bit of caution because of Nick Jumping's lag. And he's going to have to overtake him in a safe place. But he's going to hold him back a little bit, and that might draw him back into Schmoyson, Reps and VTR. And he just makes a little bit of hesitation through turn 16, turning out a little bit too early. As we approach lap number 4, Craig with a 4-second lead. He's doing the job that needs to be done so far. And Jack is going to outpower the KTM into turn 1. No, he's not. He's going to brake early. Go really on the inside. And he's through on the KTM. But Nick Jumping's going to turn it underneath the Aprilia. And Nick Jumping holds on to second place for now. And that little bit of a battle has just allowed the Repsol Honda and Schmoyz to close in. Schmoyz even. So we just go back to VTR. He's got the two Repsols right in his sights. Reps is a lot faster than his teammate. He's going to go to the inside line. He's going to brake hard. And he's going to get the move done. And Reps moves into 4th place. He could have been fighting for the win, but unfortunately mistake at the first corner has cost him. VTR is going to out-drag Schmoyz. And has moved into 5th place. And now in the slipstream of Reps, he pulls to the left-hand side for the left-hander into the braking zone, hard on the brakes. Schmoyz is going to try and fight back against the Aprilia rider, and VTR's left in the space. But VTR is just going to hold on to position. I think as we go through turn 13, VTR the inside line, but Schmoyz is going to turn it underneath. But he just can't quite get through, and VTR holds off the German. Sorry, the Austrian. Oh, and that was a... Schmoyz tried to go up the inside. It just failed. The two VTR not having the chance to sit the bike up, and Schmoyz coming out the worst in the exchange. But VTR has lost a lot of time compared to Reps. Lost about half a second. But he's still in podium contention as of now, as Jack Berman now has found his way through on Nick Jumping, and he's 4.7 seconds behind Craig. So Craig, with 6 laps to go, a very, very comfortable margin. He can lose half a second a lap, and he'll still be leading the way by 1.5 seconds at roundabout. So it's all good for Craig right now. Mr. Top 5, currently in 1st place. As at the end of this lap, he will reach the halfway stage. Oh, here comes VTR up the inside of Reps through turn 10. That's a lovely move, and now he's going to try and take a look up the inside of Nick Jumping, but he's going to have to run wide, and that is going to allow Reps back through on the inside. Just a little bit of caution because of Nick's little bit of lag, and that gives Reps the position back. But great move by VTR. Reps is going to have to try and outbrake the KTM rider, but he just can't quite do so. It's continuing up, and Reps is through, and Nick Jumping also has to take a long lap penalty, which I've not been observant of, and Rolls does that too as well as Hulikar, and that sets these three free to fight out for the last 2 podium positions, as Craig has extended his lead over Jack Berman to 5 seconds. Second a lap over these guys. 2 of them have gone down though, I think. I don't think Jack crashed. Vito has a big snap as he changed direction, probably due to the slipstream and the dirty air from the Repsol Honda in front of him. But Reps does run quite wide out the final corner, the pair of them wheeling, but VTR now in the slipstream. But I don't think he's quite in attacking range as they both brake hard for turn 1. through turn 2, and Jack Berman's close half a second on Craig, just in one corner. I say that he's picked up a long lap penalty, so that puts Jack out of the equation, unfortunately, for the podium fight as of now. Is VTR going to try doing a move he did on Reps one lap ago? No, he's not close enough. But Reps does run wide, and VTR's going to do what Reps did to him. Contact between the two, onto the curb. Reps is unfortunately just being bullied here when he comes to the exit of corners. And VTR is through on Reps. So Reps is now in the slipstream. He's going to pull to the left-hand side of the Aprilia rider, hard on the brakes. Reps braked a little bit early, but he's let off the brakes. He's going to go up the inside, but VTR's going to turn it underneath and retake the place and moves into third place. Jack has chosen not to take his long lap yet, as he realises these two are beginning to fight. So 4 laps remaining of this race. It's a Ducati by 2 Aprilias and a Honda. All Reps was a bit hard into turn 1, but he hasn't lost that much time actually, and he takes the wider line to take more corner speed through turn 2. As we now get ready for the slalom from turns 3 to 10. And Jack is definitely closing in on Craig here. Craig just, I think, maybe just letting off a little bit. Now he's got such a gap, he doesn't need to take so much risk. Doesn't need to risk getting a long lap or hitting a curb and crashing. So Craig doing a very sensible thing, just bringing the bike home to take his first victory of the season, and his first victory possibly ever. I can't quite remember if Craig's ever won a Reps. Has completely broke himself for the hairpin once again. And VTR is now closing in on his teammate. He pulls to the left-hand side, hard on the brakes. But he doesn't overtake his teammate as he knows that he has got a long lap penalty. Will Jack take the penalty now? But VTR's on the wrong side. This could go desperately wrong if Jack has not done the long lap. And VTR's going to try to look up the inside into turn 14, but he just can't quite do so. And this really isn't helping Jack in terms of extending the gap over Reps, because this battling, it just means Reps is able to close in a little bit better and reduces the advantage, or extends the margin that Jack will have to make up when he does eventually take his long lap, which will be in a lap or two's time. Oh, both Aprilias make a big mistake through turn 19, and Reps has gone down. Reps goes down at turn 19, and that now means that Jack can take his long lap penalty with no worry, and will rejoin in third place no matter what. VTR stalks his teammate into turn 1. He's at the back. And he's knocked him off. He's completely smacked into the back of him, and that really opens things up now as Reps is now back in contention for the podium place. What a big mistake from VTR, just getting sucked in the slipstream of Jack, and that's just gone horribly wrong. And Craig now has a 7.4 second lead, as Reps now has a long lap penalty as well. So it's all going on here as VTR is 1 warning away from a long lap himself. Absolute disaster. It's now down into the heavy braking. Oh, and Jack having a big moment on the brakes into the hairpin, and that allows VTR free. But Jack's now going to be in the slipstream, actually going to get a better run down the straight thanks to that mistake, because he's got a further distance to run. He pulls to the left hand side and takes back second place. The two Aprilias side by side, absolutely nothing between them, and VTR is going to brake later. But can he make the corner? No, he can't. He's going to run wide. But Jack's going to take the long lap anyway, and he backs off completely to take the long lap now. Hopefully he completes it fine. But Reps is going to take the position, but he has got a long lap himself. And Jack completes the long lap successfully. So Reps takes third place, but not for long, as he will also have to take a long lap penalty. VTR's got to be really careful in these last 2 laps that he doesn't get a warning for track limits. As Craig has lost 3 seconds, I'm thinking he might have crashed, you know. Obviously, with all this chaos going on, I haven't quite seen, but Craig must have gone down at some point. So what a bit missed opportunity for VTR. If he hadn't knocked off Jack Berman, he could have been in contention for the win here. Because Craig has lost about 4.1 seconds. And that was round about the caps that Jack had. So, yeah, VTR would be right on Craig's tail had it not been for that. So, big mistake from VTR and from Craig. But VTR will be screwing himself for the fact he knocked off his teammate and, you know, it's just not ideal. But he is currently still in second place. He has got to be careful he doesn't exceed any track limits. Hard on the brakes into turn number 11. And Reps will surely take his long lap penalty. Well, it's this lap on the next lap. Jack Bowman completely outbrakes himself. Lots of people are breaking themselves into that hairpin there. Into turn 12 for the penultimate time. Spike squirms underneath. And here comes Reps taking his long lap penalty. He's done that good. And he's completed it, and he's just going to come out behind Jack Berman. It's a 3-way scrap for the final podium place. Who will come out on top? Aprilia versus Honda versus KTM. On to the final lap. Jack remains in front of Reps, but it's only 2 tenths. Nick Jumping has lost quite a bit of time, just struggling to hold on to these two, but Jack runs wide into turn 1 and Reps goes through on the inside. I don't know what Jack's struggling with, maybe brake temperature. But Jack's got to be careful now, he doesn't make another mistake. It's all going to come down to about probably turn 11 through turn 12. That's where the race is most likely going to be won or lost for these guys. But Reps is 1 warning away from another long lap. So Reps has got to be really careful. He doesn't exceed any track limits from now on. Otherwise it will be a 3-second penalty, maybe even 10 seconds depending on when he does it. So drop down from turn 10 into turn 11 for penultimate time. Jack's got to get this corner perfect to get the slipstream on the Repsol Honda rider, and he has done a good job. But so has Reps. Oh, and Jack spun as well. Massive amounts of wheel spin for Jack. And as he's ran out of fuel. Has he run out of fuel? No. That was really bizarre. And look at that, his rear tire's completely cooked. He's just hit the gas and the whole thing's just spun, and I think he's just tried to manage the power instead of just shutting off, and that's a really big error from Jack Berman there. Far in front, Craig has done the perfect job, but he may have made one big mistake that we haven't seen. But since he took the pole, he took the lead after lap 1, and since then nobody's been able to stop him. Nice and cautious through turn 19, and he approaches the final corner, and nice and slow round the final corner, and Craig is going to take his first victory of the season in fine style and takes the championship lead in the process. VTR takes second place. He'll definitely take that despite the circumstances, and Reps will finish in third. Nick Jumping in fourth. Jack Berman in fifth. He'll be hating his teammate right now. finishes his home Grand Prix in 6th. Hulicar will finish in 7th, but he will have an added 7 seconds on to his lap time. Schmoy's in 8th, and Amir will also have penalties on as well. Howling Siege in 10th, and Darko in 11th. So all the people who have not set long lap penalties, they will be getting a 10-second time penalty. So let Ropey 2 add that.
As the riders do their cool-down laps, let's take a look at the final
So
classification.
Craig wins, and a VTR in 2nd, Reps in 3rd, Nick jumping 4th, Rolls in 5th, Schmoy's in 6th, Howling in 7th, Hulicar in 8th, Amir in 9th, Darko in 10th. So we will move on to the interviews now. Let's see who's in here. I'm not sure if Reps will join. So we'll go with VTR and then Craig, and if Reps joins, we can interview last. Even though we probably won't be able to hear you, VTR. 2nd place, you got caught up in. I don't know how you. I know you crashed in the opening lap. I didn't quite see it, but then you fought your way back. You did a great job, and then you knocked off your teammate. So even though it's 2nd place and probably a good position from what you would have expected, I imagine that must leave a bit of a sour taste in your mouth. Okay. And we will swiftly move on to our race winner and our new championship leader in Craig. Craig lights the flags performance, near enough. Pole position, race win. How's it feel?
Amazing. It's nice to actually be back here. This is my 2nd win only ever in league racing. I know that's quite shocking. Obviously, it's unfortunate for VTR. He had pace. A lot of people had pace to run at the front. Reps obviously crashed behind me. But I think what VTR just said then was a bit wrong, because if he was with me, it would have been a whole different story of defending, battling backwards and forwards. He might have took the fastest lap, but don't mean he would have been the one at the top.
Yeah, and
thank you.
Did you make a mistake on one lap? Because I saw the gap was 7 seconds.
I kept making mistakes, and as soon as I knew I had the gap, I just weren't pushing like I was. I think my last 5-6 laps towards the end, I was actually in the 2 minutes, and I know I can run 58s, so I was quite shocked. I was nervous, and as soon as I crashed, I bricked it, and then obviously I saw there was a bigger gap because of something happened behind me, and I just relaxed. But when you relax too much, you can make mistakes, and that's what kept happening, unfortunately, for me.
Yeah, that's right. And what you brought home the win, and now you're the championship leader heading in towards round 2, so you must be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, though.
Yeah, so that's been it for round number 2 in Kota, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.